Hey guys, so today we're going to be installing this hitch on our Tesla Model X, and we picked up this big beautiful hitch for $200 on Facebook Marketplace. So these things go for $800 just for the hitch alone. That doesn't even include the receiver plus the wire harness. So a lot of these Model X's actually come with the hitch, or you have to order it separately as an option, but these are very expensive, and they don't make. There's only one other company that makes these aftermarket hitches, and from what I understand and watching some of the reviews, they don't fit quite well. So you want to go with the factory hitch system on your Tesla Model X, so that you don't have to do any weird cutting and it fits on there flush. What I want to do today is show you guys how to install this hitch on our Model X, and this install procedure will apply to all Model X from 2016 to 2020. Now there is zero videos on YouTube on how to install this thing, so I ended up going out to the internet and I picked up this procedure on Tesla website. Today we're going to be going through this process with a written procedure from Tesla. Now it's kind of hard to see on the camera, and I'll leave a link down below in the description where you guys can go find this exact information. So they call this the correction code. Everything that you see on their website as far as trying to install something, they call it a correction code. And this is 100130001. And basically this is a fascia assembly, rear, remove, and install. And that's what they're calling this bumper, the fascia. And then behind that, that's where we're gonna be installing this big, beautiful bumper. Now, again, I paid $200 on Facebook Marketplace for this. And reason why I picked up this one is because if your Tesla does not come with the hitch system, you need to buy a separate wiring harness, and that wire harness does not exist on eBay or anywhere. So you gotta be mindful of that if you guys are looking for an aftermarket, or if you guys are looking for an add-on to your existing Model X. You do want to buy one that's got the existing wire harness. I'm going to go through all of that and what that looks like for you guys, so that everything becomes a plug and play. Now, I suppose you guys could cut up the wires on your Tesla to put on an aftermarket 4-way plug, but why not use the factory hitch? So we're going to go over all of that. But we've got a soft cloth. This is the carpet I've got down right here. So when we take the bumper off, we're going to put that bumper on this carpet so it doesn't get scratched up. Also, they recommend raising the Tesla as high as you can go, but I'm also going to do another thing. I'm going to roll up my Tesla on these ramps so you guys can see, and I can do a little better recording for you guys, but it's not necessary. Okay, so when I come down here and click on this little icon with the car, it's going to bring you up to the menu and go to suspension. And right now it's set to low, so just drag this thing to very high. Oh, by the way, I do have wheel chocks in the front for safety. So if you guys got it up on jacks like this, make sure you have your front wheel chock. Okay, so this is the first clip you're going to take off, which is on the back side of your rear tire, right here. Okay, we're going to do this on both sides. All right, now once you pull this plastic clip off, this whole section should come off. Now you got to be careful, because you see right here, these little clips right here, you want to try not to break that. So just do it gently. On step 3 here, it says carefully pull the rear fender garnish away from the vehicle to release the rearmost heart flex clips. And there's 3 of them. So this is what these heart clips are right here. This is what they're talking about. So just go ahead and take your little pry tool if you need to and help it lift away. So there's 1, 2, and 3. But then you also need to remove this little clip, but if there's no like a clip like these 3 right here. This is your bumper line right here. So once again, you got 1, 2, 3, 4. Right above the 4th one, this is your bumper line. And there's instruction says there's also a bolt that goes right here. Well, there's no place. Well, I'm not seeing any bolt on my particular fender and bumper just behind this trim area. So I'm going to assume that it doesn't exist for this particular model. So you'll want to repeat the exact same steps on the other side. All right, so we're on step 6 already, and this thing goes to 13 steps, so we're almost halfway there. So there are 11 bolts on the bottom here of the bumper that we need to get off, and then we're going to also when we put it back on, we're going to torque it down to 4 Newton meters. So let's get down there and take a look. Okay, so on my Tesla there are 10 bolts along the back here, and the instruction says 11. So we're going to keep moving on. So if you guys have an electric drill, this would be ideal, and this is a 10 millimeter. Okay, and then you also need to remove, there's 2 bolts right here on both sides, and this is a torque bit 30. So you need one of these little fancy guys. And make sure you don't lose that washer. Oop, looks like I missed one bolt over here. So I'm going through these instructions and it's a little bit confusing here because it's telling me to take off this bumper trough trim, and I don't think you need to do that. As you can see, I tried to take off a little bit here to see what was going on. There's a bolt right behind this thing right here, here. I couldn't really tell, and the picture wasn't really all that clear. So after digging through here a little bit more, you can just undo this little guy. This is, I don't know what this is for, but you just untwist it. And then if you peel back this just a little bit, you can see there's a 10 millimeter bolt right behind this. So I'm going to peel this back a little bit here, and you can see there's that bolt right there, 10 millimeter. Oh yeah, here we go. So we're going to do this on the other side. Okay, so now let me continue here. Okay, make sure there's nothing else attached. Oh, there's one clip right here. Okay, so there was an instruction on that. So there's a plastic clip right there. There we go. Let me get the one on the other side. And this plastic clip is on the actual inner fender. Okay. Ooh. Okay, let me put my chair right here to hold it up. It's kind of hard to tell, but underneath where this bumper trim line meets, is under the fender liner, there's a Phillips screw. I think it's a Phillips. Nope, it's a small torque bit. Okay, number 25. Let me get an extension. There we go. So now I think everything is loose except for there's a wire harness right here somewhere. Oh, there it is. Okay, so it's on this side. Okay, so behind this bumper here on the driver's side, there are a couple wire harnesses. Hope you guys can see that. Need to remove those. Okay, and then one more wire harness right here. There's 2 of them. Okay, there we go. Okay. And set this whole thing down like that. Okay, so let me show you where those 2 wire harnesses are located. It's one right here. Put a little shadow on that. And then the other small one is right here. So once you guys remove that, you can see the whole bumper just basically Came right off. Now we're going to take off this really chintzy bumper. This is like a 16th inch steel, and we're going to replace it with our Hitch bumper. So this is, you know, like probably 3/8 inch steel, way more durable than this factory bumper. Ta-da! Okay, now, from my understanding, all Tesla Model X has the original wiring harness that comes up to the rear of the bumper. There's a rubber grommet that goes right here. I took that off earlier just to check it out, and I didn't put it back on. But anyways, this is what the inside of the pin looks like. Okay, so now, when you go look for a bumper for your rig, you want to look for this wire harness that kind of looks like this. So this is the female end. You guys can see that. Okay. Look at that. Perfect. Yeah, these are 3/8 inch thick right here on the mounting side. The tube itself is a 1/4 inch. These weld supports are 1/4 inch, so way bigger than the factory 1/16 inch steel over there. Now the thing about putting on these bumpers, it's important to put these on crisscross, tighten it crisscross. Okay, so the torque spec on these nuts is 46.1 foot-pounds. Which is not very much. Okay, that's it. Before you connect this, blow some dust off, and this thing connects only one way. You want to make sure you hear that clicking sound, and everything looks like it was meant to be from factory. So there you go. And if this doesn't work for some reason, we can go ahead and still put the bumper on and access this area, because there's a little porthole right here on the bottom of the bumper, and I'll show you guys that here in just a little bit. But for right now, boy, everything looks really good. All right, so here's some important spec notes about this specific hitch. So if you have tire size less than 22 inches, it can tow up to 5,000 pounds. If it's greater than 22 inches, you can only tow 3,500 pounds. And as far as the tongue weights go, so if it has less than 22 inch tires, it has a tongue weight of 500 pounds. And if it's 22 inches or larger, the tongue weight is only 350 pounds. So if you guys are towing stuff, basically what it's saying here is that you want to be below 20 inch tires all the way around to have the maximum towing capacity. Because the reason being is that when you go to a really big wheel, like a 22 inch wheel, your tire profile is very small. Versus if you have like a 19 inch tire or a 20 inch tire like what we have, you have a much higher profile tire, more rubber, more traction, and it's also way safer. So anyways, there you go. Okay. Okay, let's go. So we're going to do this in the just opposite order here. We're going to connect our two wiring harness. Okay, and yeah, and I learned that these wiring harness are your sensors on your bumper. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and do this one corner at a time. Okay, and then hold this up. I actually want to fix this thing here. I got my daughter here to help me out with her hot glue gun. We can see that this piece right here is ripped out. I don't know if I did this, but I don't think so. I think this was done previously, looking at the damage. So Isa, well, what do you think we should do? Because you're the hot glue gun master. She really is the hot glue gun master. So what were you saying we should do with this?
With this one?
Uh-huh, yeah.
Oh, so you like to flatten it, we just push it down like that and that our fingers don't get burnt.
Okay, let's see you do it. And then over here, yeah, right there, perfect. And then let that dry.
Let it dry though, don't smash it right now.
Okay, spider web, it looks nice.
Wait, okay, so, is the cardboard's gonna stay on there, you know that, right?
Yeah, it's okay.
Beat goes on and on and on and on, and boom, felt the sound of my heart. The beat goes on and on and on and on.
Okay.
That works.
Okay, so this hot glue is nice and firm now, it's settled up.
It is, wait, don't drill. Don't.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, and we're gonna create a new hole right here. There we go. That was easy fix.
I wanna do it.
So we're gonna go ahead and lift this guy up and get some weight off of the bumper. So we're gonna do this. We're gonna slide this in here. Okay, can you go over there and just hold that side?
Yeah.
There you go. And then we're gonna slide this guy in here. Oh, nice. And then these things just push right in here, just like that. Okay, beautiful.
What about this one?
It's okay, I'll fix that. So it's gonna be hard to see, but this screw goes right in here on the inside of this fender liner. Okay. Okay, so there we go. Make sure these clips are in there really good. Okay, we're gonna do the same thing on this side. Okay, now let's work on getting this corner piece on here. So make sure everything is pushed in correctly. Okay, we're just gonna pull this flat back gently. Alright guys, so quick update. I had to take this trim off again and redo this because I forgot that this bottom part of the bumper is like an overlap. So you gotta make sure that this bumper piece goes on top of this other piece right here. So Make a quick note of that before you guys put everything together. Make sure that this overlap is on there in the correct orientation. Okay. All right, guys, so everything went back together. Really nice, fairly easy. Just want to show you guys what it looks like here after it's installed. And then, as many of you guys might know, it has a cover right here, so when you're not towing something, you can hide it with this. And then early this week, I have the actual receiver coming. I bought on eBay for $89. And that receiver is going for upwards of $150 to $400 on the internet. So you got to kind of look for it. I got lucky and I found this bid on eBay and I won it. We negotiated and it was free shipping. So for 89 bucks with free shipping, what a deal. Now I do have this is a 7-prong, and I do have a 7-prong to a 4-way flat adapter. So I'll be using that to tow my trailer. It's got the hooks right here for your safety chain. They're kind of small, but I think it'll be functional. So I'm really curious to see how all this is, how it looks once I get this on my trailer and whatnot. So anyways, what do you guys think? Looks pretty good, yeah? So everything went on really good. Trim looks pretty good. Fortunately, I made a few scratches here, so I'm gonna get my rubbing compound out and see if I can clean that up. But it's pretty clean. You can't really notice anything. And this side's no problem. A little gap right there, but it's like that's Tesla. So my only takeaway here is just be careful with this bumper trough trim right here. So I'm gonna either have to find a replacement for this. I'll get some glue and I'll glue this piece down. But yeah, that kind of looks ugly, but hopefully I'm gonna see if my wife notices it. If I just leave it like that, I don't think she'll notice it. What do you guys think? Again, this is pretty nice to be the first one to put a video up on YouTube on how to remove the rear bumper and putting on a hitch. So if you guys have any thoughts or questions, and if you'd like to see anything else on this Tesla, let me know down in the comments. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you guys in the next video, and God bless.